going over there for a snack or something.
Hi, Michelle Smith, Pac12.com. For Brittany and Alana, can you guys just talk about coming off of Final Four appearance and what that experience does for you and what it does to sort of springboard you into the next season?
I think going to the Final Four and getting kind of a taste for it left us returners wanting more. We want to go back and we want to go further, and I think that's kind of a drive for us, and I think we're trying to create that culture for our freshmen too.
Yeah, and just kind of seeing what it takes from last year to get to the Final Four, because those seniors had gone their freshman year, but everybody else had never been, so it was good to get the experience and figure out like just how much work is put into it.
My turn yet? Tom Fitzgerald, San Francisco Chronicle. Alana, where is the rebounding going to come from without Bird McCall?
I think that the rest of our post players, after watching Bird and the success that she had with her game, I think she set a really good example for post players at Stanford to come. And so I know for a fact that I'm trying to emulate Bird as a player and as a rebounder. I know Kale does an awesome job on the boards, and I know that the rest of our post players will do a great job too, because we all look up to former players from Stanford, and they do a fantastic job of showing the way.
And Britt, where is the three-point shooting going to come from without Carly Samuels?
I think it's kind of going to come from a lot of different players. A lot of people got to play in Italy, and they did super well, so it's kind of there for the taking, because she obviously was phenomenal, but it should be exciting. I think we have great three-point shooters on our team, and we'll be fine.
Shireen Ryan for the Lake Show Life. I'm wondering the impact of having so many of your former players in the WNBA, Roz Gold being a fantastic media representation. What does that mean to your program, all three of you? How does that feel, seeing Agumake in the finals again and all that?
As a coach, it just makes me really proud, and I hope that it inspires some of our young players to work hard and be like the players that are setting that great example.
Yeah, I mean, in our locker room, we have like a wall of all the past All-Americans, and we have another wall of just really great players, and it's just an example of what hard work can do. And it's also a resource. Like, I've talked to plenty of alumni who have helped me out along the way, and just are really good sources to go to.
Yeah, I think it really sets a culture of excellence in our program and sets that expectation for us to do really well and work really hard to get there, because I know after talking to players in the WNBA from Stanford that it did take hard work, and I think that it's really good for us to see them getting the reward from it.
Thank you.
Tara, last year you said that your defense was kind of the thing that you hung your hat on. During the year you called your team one of the most committed defensive teams you've ever had. Have you been able to see an identity for this team yet? If so, how would you characterize it?
Well, I was waiting for Tom to ask about that, because one of our best defenders graduated too, Bree Roberson. Our defense is going to be, I think, something that our team will hang its hat on. We just haven't gotten to that point yet. We've worked really hard on, I think offense takes longer to teach and learn, so we've focused a lot during the summer and going to our trip in Italy, but we will get right to kind of the defensive things that we want to do. But a lot of it starts with the leadership of your team. Someone like Bree or Carly and Britt and Alana, they buy into playing great defense, and they're going to work really hard. And I think the advantage that I have is the fact that these are people that are in the gym and putting in extra time, and they know that in order for us to have a great season, we're going to have to play both ends of the court. And when you have your best offensive players playing defense, then I think that gives you a real good chance.
Hey Tara, Joe Balancini, Pac-12 Network. I want to ask you two questions. One is, your chemistry, you talked about that a lot last season. you didn't have one superstar. This was really an entire team who bought in. But yeah, I really think you have a chance to have a couple stars here. How is this team different than last year? Can you know, I know it's an evolving thing, but what do you see right now?
Well, I hope that the team chemistry and the, you know, it's different, obviously, of different people and different players, but I think that Alana and Britt, Kale, you know, the leaders of our team have to realize that chemistry was a big reason why our team was successful, and people were unselfish, and they're very hard workers, and if they do that, I think that gives us a chance. We'll have different stars every night, and it's not going to be might not be the same person, but we have some great talent on our team, including obviously the two that are with me today. But I think we're going to be a kind of a win by committee. It's going to be different people doing different things, and you know, really doing some of the little things and doing the behind the scene things. So I'm counting on great chemistry and also great leadership and the things that helped us be successful last year.
Okay, and then obviously, you know, every team loses players each year at graduation, but you lost a very important staff member in Amy Tucker. How is it with the players having a new coach? Because you don't have a lot of turnover at Stanford. And how is it for you too, Tara? Right, players first.
So yeah, new assistant coach Lindy LaRock has fit in wonderfully. I mean, Lindy was a former player at Stanford, so she knows the ins and outs. And now she's on the other side, she's coaching. And I think that's actually really cool to be able to have a former player who knows both sides. And I mean, she's been great so far, and I'm really looking forward to the years to come with Lindy. I'm really happy that she's decided to come back to Stanford, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, without Amy is super weird. Like when we went to Italy and played without her on the bench was definitely different, and it's an adjustment. But yeah, Lindy fits right in, and it's always great to get a different perspective. She has a lot of great ideas, and it's fun to work with her.
As far as, I think it's going to be really hard for Amy, the very first game. You know, not to want to just yell, hey, Tara, get out of that press, or, you know, put so-and-so in or whatever, but, you know, I think that with basketball, I mean, Amy feels really good about her contributions to the Stanford program. You know, she was part of recruiting a lot of these players that are on our team. And the thing that I think we'll miss the most is that she was just such a quick thinker. Like when things happen in the game, I might still be like mad about the foul, and she's moved on to like, hey, this is a play we've got to run. So I think this will give an opportunity to other people, and we're all going to have to step up our game.
Cheryl Howard from Feet.com. This is for coach and players, if you want to answer. You're starting the season playing against two of the toughest teams in the nation, Ohio State and then UConn. What are the advantages of starting out with such intense competition and something that other teams may shy away from?
Well, I hope our players are excited. It kind of happened a little bit by accident, honestly. We were supposed to go to play Ohio State and Louisville, but because of game times, then it got switched to Connecticut, which I'm fine with. That's, you know, they're a great program and a great team. And the same thing with Baylor, actually. We were supposed to play someone else. UOP, they dropped us, so we ended up playing Baylor. So, but I hope our team is really excited. And, you know, you don't win championships in November or December, but I think you can build a really good foundation then, and you can learn a lot about your team. We do have a very young team. It is a little bit like throwing our team into the deep end of the pool early, but and when we played in Italy, we played against professionals. So I don't know that, you know, I mean, we know we have a lot of work to do, and I think it'll give our team a sense of urgency. We start tomorrow, you know, with our real practices, and I think it's going to really help our practices. That, you know, there's not going to be any fluff. We're going to cut right to the chase.
Back over this way, Tara. You signed a contract extension. You're coming off a Final Four year. How energized are you? And then actually as a follow-up for the players, I just want to talk about emotional tone setting. Carly was a very calm player on the court for you guys. Erica was a very emotional player. How do you not only replace in production, but the emotional tone that they set on the court?
As far as emotional, I think we have other players who maybe don't express it like as visibly to you guys, but we definitely have people who like have a lot of emotion throughout the game. Kaylee Johnson and Marta Sneezik are both very like competitive and I think can get us fired up. And then as far as calm, I think a lot of us generally are a little bit more like that. So, I mean, it's obviously hard losing characteristics like that, but I think people will figure it out and we'll be okay.
Yeah, I think that Bert and Carly really led the way too and kind of showed how to be those types of leaders. So I think that the leaders on our team have kind of an easy job of stepping into that role because they did such a good job of showing how to do that.
I was just having lunch with Janie McCauley, and I don't know, something came up about, how long are you going to do this? And I'm like, well, I just signed up for 3 more years, so that's how that story got out there. I didn't know that was just going to be a topic of discussion, but I'm very excited about our team. I'm very excited about the future of our program, and just, obviously we've got the veterans and people like Britt and Alana, and Kale and Marta and people like that have played a lot and contributed a lot, but we're really excited about our freshmen and our sophomores too. And it's just, our main job is just keep everybody healthy and just keep improving.
Tara, Tom Fitzgerald, San Francisco Chronicle. How does this freshman class with Kiana Williams and all the rest of these people compare with the great freshman classes that you've had in the past? And are you going to urge Maya Dodson to dunk in a game?
I think Maya will dunk, but it's going to happen. Maybe she'll throw it down in warm-ups first. But as far as our freshmen, I think as freshmen they're as good as any freshmen we've had. I hope they're great as sophomores, as juniors, and as seniors, and that they are the type of leaders and great people that we have on our team right now as juniors and seniors. But they're a very talented group, and they have the advantage of having great upper class mentors like Britt and Alana that really understand that it's not about keeping freshmen down or keeping them in their place, but really helping them and building them up in a way that they know that. Britt and Alana are, they're the foundation of our team and our upperclassmen. But we know that we need more, and they understand that. So it's a combination of great talent, I think really outstanding freshmen, but also great older mentors.
Kevin Dan with Pack-12.com. For Britt and Alana, I hear you guys have some really fun kind of outdoor trips going over the weekends like Yosemite and places like that. So I was wondering kind of if you can talk about that and what it kind of does to build team chemistry. Our teammate Alexa Romano and I always try to go somewhere on the weekends during the summer, not during the season. And we always bring, like Alana came with us last weekend, Michaela's gone on a couple, people come all the time. And we just try to get out and just get in a different atmosphere. We went to Yosemite and Mammoth Lakes last weekend. And it's just fun to get to know each other because it's a lot of time. You don't have any cell service. You can't even listen to the radio. There's no radio. So you really get to learn a lot about each other that you otherwise wouldn't talk about on the court. So it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's not every day that you have to sleep in a 3-man tent with 4 people. So you get up close and personal. It's awesome.
Maybe 3 Kate's got up with